Now, okay. So once again, it's 8:59. We're gonna get started promptly at 9 o'clock. I do believe in being punctual. I believe in respecting everyone's time. I see we have Howard White. See, that's technology. That's what an engineer does for you. He gets on the event on Facebook and on Zoom. So first of all, welcome to the 15 Laws of Growth, session number 1, virtual mastermind. And what I'm going to do tonight, we are, for those who may or may not know, I secured my certification through the John Maxwell team on last year, speaking, training, and coaching. And it's an exciting thing to be able to add value to people. So what my life's purpose is helping other people do the same thing. And one of the things that I've realized in engineering career, education, entrepreneur, network marketing, a lot of people are just existing. A lot of people have now put themselves in a position where they are intentional about maximizing their success and realizing their potential. So what I believe in doing through my training development company, through writing, training, became a best-selling author last year, keynote speaking, is teaching people how to live and create the success that they desire. So what we're going to do in this 9-week mastermind is give you 15 actionable strategies for maximizing your success. Now, before we jump into the specifics this evening, do me a huge favor. If you are watching me on Facebook, go ahead and hit that share button. Share with everybody that you know. Tonight's session, this virtual mastermind, has a cost associated with it. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But tonight, it's free and open to everybody. And it's not going to be one of those free trainings where everything you got to pay for. Tonight, I'm going to share some life-changing information with you all. For those who are on Facebook, if you want to join us and be a part of the conversation, I encourage you, check the notes in the link and go ahead and subscribe, not subscribe, but register and join us on Zoom. Everyone who's on Zoom, you're going to get the same information in the first 30 minutes as everybody on Facebook that they're getting, but you're also going to get the handout. You're going to get, you're going to get the recording once we're done tonight. Now, starting with session 2 through session 9, you have to be registered. So let me do this. I'm going to go ahead, get this set up so we can share my screen. Give me 1 second. So for those who are on Facebook, if you're not on Zoom, you're not going to be able to see these slides. But you're going to be able to hear my voice. I promise you that. Now, the 15 Laws of Growth is a very impactful book. One of the primary reasons, everybody knows about John Maxwell's book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. It has sold, multiples of millions of copies, that one particular book. But the 15 Laws of Growth is, I guess you would call it my second favorite to the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And allow me to back those slides up. This particular book is important because if you look at the subtitle, a lot of people don't know how to maximize their potential, don't know how to realize their full potential. And I believe it was Miles Monroe who stated that the richest place on planet Earth is the grave. And, when people make a statement like that, it makes us ask, why would you say that? Where does that come from? And when you really evaluate the statement, it has a lot of truth to it. Because how many people in our own families have gone to glory and they never realized their potential? They never realized what their purpose was in life, and they begin to walk in that purpose. How many people do we know that they're not even dead yet. They're still alive. But they're going to a job every single day that they hate. That was my experience some 20 plus years ago. Graduated with an engineering degree. And you know, it's crazy when you graduate from college and you're the first in your entire family to do so. And everybody's looking at you as if you have arrived and what you're doing. You're an engineer. You're in Texas Instruments. And I was just unfulfilled. I was unhappy. And I thank God that I was introduced to the industry of professional development, personal development. Write that term down. Personal development. I was introduced to personal development around my first year senior as an engineering student at Prairie View University. And I was given a book by a friend of mine named Lonnie Howard. The book is entitled The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Excuse me. And I'm going to get back to what we're going to share, but I got to share this with you all. That book was a seed for my life to be changed. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And that book became a seed for transformation. That book became a seed for me to wake up. Because remember, engineering degree, Texas Instruments, Motorola, research for the undergrad research for the CIA, and I was just unhappy. And I'm pretty sure most of you will have thought about, is my life, am I meant to get up every day and do this for the next 40 years? That's not what you were shaped for. That's not what you were designed for. Through this mastermind, we want to give you some actionable steps to discover your gifting, discover your purpose, and then begin to walk in that. So what I want to do is kind of speak a few minutes to the details about the mastermind, and then we're going to go into those steps. So I promise, those of you who are on Facebook, we're going to keep it open. I'll probably check the questions in about 15 minutes, but we're going to keep Facebook on for the first 20 to 25 minutes, and then we're going to go 0 dark 30, and we're going to focus on everybody on Zoom. So once again, if you want the extra content, I encourage you, look at the notes, click the link, get registered, and jump on Zoom with us. All right? So let's go. We can't control the outcome. Okay, that's a good point. I'm glad Howard shared that. Let me share that with everybody. We can't control the outcome of the tea. We can control the seeds we sow. Sow good seeds daily. And we're gonna jump into that. I'm glad Howard's on both sides because he's going to speak to that also. Now, the virtual mastermind, we're going to have 9 sessions starting tonight. This is session number 1. We're going to start promptly at 9 p.m. We're going to end promptly at 10 p.m. Now, every virtual mastermind that I've done over the past year and a half, what happens in every mastermind, the seeds become so tasty that we go past 10 o'clock. But I believe in respecting people's time. So at 10 o'clock, I let everyone know, if you need to leave and log off, no problem. You'll get the recording in 72 hours. But we stay on for 30 to an additional 40 minutes. And you've had some life-changing information to be unfolded. And this is not just for me. This is the beauty of a mastermind. This is the beauty of a collective group and the power that comes from this collective group studying one particular piece of content and information and how people's lives are empowered and changed over time. More on that in just a second. Now, the registration cost is $80. But I believe in providing value. If you've ever seen me speak live, if you've ever been a coaching client, if you've ever seen the work that I do on social media, I believe in adding value. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or be arrogant or anything like that. But I hate people waste my time. So the last thing I'm going to do is to waste your time. So I've packed $400+ of value into this mastermind. Your registration of $80 covers your book, covers 3 different bonuses, and it's going to cover two coaching sessions. Now, those 3 bonuses are going to start in week 5. And I'll tell you more about that in week 4. Now, in addition, roughly 72 hours after the mastermind is completed on Sunday night, so roughly around that Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, you're going to receive the recording from the previous mastermind. So you'll always have an audio of what we discussed on the previous training. So I encourage you to get registered. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. You can, for those who are on Facebook, you can inbox me or ask them directly, and or those individuals who want to send me an email, feel free to email me, ask your questions. We'll get those questions addressed and we'll go from there. Now, thank you, Harrison. Glad you joined us, better known as Ken Land. Ken just actually graduated from the 21 Irrefutable Mastermind 2 weeks ago. Now, our objective, we want to provide a clear plan for growth. We want to aid you in reaching your potential. And a lot of times, we simply haven't been given the specifics or the strategies in order to do so. So that's what we want to accomplish in this mastermind. Now, we're going to cover 1 or 2 laws every single week. We're going to answer questions. And the beauty about participating and being engaging, let me say it like this. The quality of your life will always be determined by the quality of questions that you learn to ask. And not just ask, but also the quality of questions you learn to ask and get answers to. So I want to encourage you, for those who are registering for the mastermind, those who've already gotten registered, you want to make sure that you have quality questions prepared, because your questions can be the key to your life changing. In addition, I want to encourage dialogue with your cohorts. Everybody who's registered for the mastermind, we want to create a community, because that's where transformation is truly going to happen. Well, I'm going to encourage active participation. And once again, we're going to start on time, end on time. And I encourage everyone, thank those of you who dialed in by 8:57 tonight or dialed in. I'm so used to old school and doing these kinds of trainings via a conference call system. But those who logged on at 8:57 and earlier, I appreciate that. Excellent. Now, let's get into some specifics that's going to enable you. This is the first piece of value, maybe first piece, maybe second piece of value that you can walk away with tonight. And the reason I say the first or second piece, because hopefully what I've shared thus far has been valuable, but I want to specifically share with you all and show you. Let me go back to sharing my screen. Give me 1 second. A lot of times we don't understand where value comes from and true transformation. So what I'm going to do here, let's go back into the screen sharing option. When you look at the fact that what most people do when they put themselves in a position to learn something, you have this key thing called retention rate that's always at play. And if I simply lecture for 30 minutes, for an hour, etc., you're going to retain less than 5% of the information. That's a waste of your time and your money. And I'm not here to waste your time or your money. You can get the book and read it on your own. When that happens, typically, the way most people read, and I've actually done a study on this, people retain less than 10%. I know one gentleman, a former mentor of mine, multimillionaire, he took one chapter in one book. He read that one chapter in one book over 500 times. One reason is because of this right here. You read it only once or twice, you're only going to get about 10%. The result of him reading that information over 500 times has resulted in his multi-millionaire ship. Now, is everything about money? No, not at all. But if most things are not about money, I'd go to work tomorrow and tell them that they don't need to pay you. So let's keep it real. Money's very important. Matter of fact, it's right up there with oxygen. Now, if you simply, one technique is to listen to books. I love listening to books. It helps me to get through books faster. You retain roughly 20% of the information. What we're going to do in the mastermind, we're going to have a group dynamic going on, which is going to enable you to go from 5%, just getting a lecture, and multiply by a factor of 10 and upwards of 50% retention. But when the participation kicks in and the teaching of other people, now we're approaching 90%. So we're going to incorporate these last 3 teaching methods into the mastermind to increase the retention rate and get more value or more bang for your buck. Now, tonight, I'm actually going to share with you all the probably 1/3, a little bit less than 1/3 of a training that I wrote maybe 10 years ago called Discover Your Gift, Develop Your Gift, Deliver Your Gift. Most of us, especially, any level of education in America, the Prussian educational system, it is not designed to help you identify your gifting, to identify your purpose. And oftentimes matter of fact, I had a gentleman was at a golf tournament a year or so ago, and his son is a student at my alma mater, and he was saying that he told his son said, "Daddy, I don't want to major in engineering anymore. I don't like it. I want to change my major to accounting. I feel like that's more in line with my purpose." And he said, "Son, you're going to stay in engineering, and once you get into your career and start making money, you can worry about purpose then." And the problem, the truth of the matter is, many of us have been taught like that. And we end up getting degrees or going into a field, getting certain certifications, and working in areas that we're truly unhappy with. And we live an unfulfilled life. So this training teaches you, and we're going to talk about it tonight, how to discover your gift, develop your gift, and then deliver your gift. We're not going to go into delivering the gift. Tonight, I'm going to give you the keys to discovering your gift. But in the area of developing your gifting, that's where the 15 invaluable laws of growth are going to come in over the next 9 weeks. So let me repeat that. Tonight, we're going to give you some actionable steps, questions, techniques, and strategies to help you discover your gifting. Then over the next 9 weeks, we're going to unfold developing your gifting, utilizing the 15 invaluable laws of growth. Now, with that, for those of us who are on Zoom with me, if you have any questions, feel free to jump in and hit me with your questions now. Anyone have any questions so far? Not everybody at once.
No questions.
No questions, huh? Now, what I will do now, let's jump over 17 minutes in. Let's jump over to Facebook, see if we have any questions over here. Hello, Shakisha. Hello, Joel. Hello, Alfonso. Hello, Twin. Hello, Brandon. Hello, Tracy. Hello, Margaret. Cindy, welcome. Thank you. Hello, Lori. Andrew, Stephanie, Howard, once again, thank you for joining us. Once again, James, thank you for joining us. Ken, welcome. Anita, welcome.
Question?
Yes. Go ahead.
My question is, as far as figuring out what your gift is or discovering your gift, do you feel that that's something that people need experience with? So is it that easy that you're able to, give us these techniques to figure out what our gift is, but is it that we need time and experience? So, for example, I'm working in technology right now, but would I have to skip around to different careers to figure out what my gift is, or go to different cooking classes or yoga classes to figure out what my gift is, or is it something that I can actually discover without those experiences in time?
Very good question. And I want to restate your question to ensure that I'm understanding your question, and then correct me if I'm not. Is it okay, Alexis?
Yes.
Now, if I'm understanding correctly, you want to know, is discovering your gift that easy that I can go through these strategies and figure it out? Or do I need experience in other areas and to skip around in my career? Is that correct?
Career and just different life experiences. So maybe my gift isn't when it comes to my career, but maybe it's, something that is more of a hobby that I haven't necessarily implemented as a career.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm taking notes, if you don't mind, while you're talking. Once again, I believe in adding value and understanding before I respond. Now, let me break up your question, if you will allow me to do that. Number one, is discovering your gift easy? The answer is actually yes and no. And I say yes and no because it is going to cause a paradigm shift for you to discover your gift. Our society is focused on get a degree, go to work, make good money. Our educational system is built on what's called the Prussian educational system, which was designed many centuries ago to focus people on essentially becoming worker bees. It's not designed on you identifying your purpose and your gifting. So everything that we've been taught gears us in that direction. So now when Taft comes in, or whomever comes in and says gifting, purpose, or even T.D. Jakes' book, Instinct and and Destiny, or Tony Robbins' training, whenever these things come in, because you've been so conditioned for 15, 20, 30, 40 years, that's the part that makes it difficult. And we begin to resist the strategies because it's not natural. And what makes it even worse is that you have people around you who are looking at you and saying, why are you doing that? What's wrong with you, Taft? You an engineer. You making good money. I had one of my friends to tell me that I was slapping God in the face by walking away from engineering. This is literal. I'm not exaggerating. You are slapping God in the face. So when you have people around you who are questioning your moves and your decisions, then it can cause you to question your moves and your decisions. And then the secondary piece to discovering your gift is monetizing that gift. After you discover it, you develop it, you deliver it to the world. How do I monetize this gift? And when you begin to struggle in the monetization, that begins to push you right back into what you used to do, because I can make money that way, pay my bills and eat. So is it easy? Yes and or no? It can be very difficult. I have taken my failures and packaged them for other people to help them avoid some of my mistakes, which can make it more palatable during this process. And in addition to that, yes, it can be easy if you commit to the process. The process may involve you changing jobs, or the process may involve what you just mentioned, the point of a hobby. It may involve you, working on a quote unquote hobby on the weekends. Or one of my mentors, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, when he was writing his first book, Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, he began to tell W. Clement Stone how many hours he was working and how busy he was and how involved he was. And I think the story goes that W. Clement Stone asked him, well, when do you sleep? Well, I sleep in these hours. Well, he said, well, write the book then. So the question will always become, how bad do you want it? If we have the track to run on, and I'm gonna give you the first few steps of those tracks tonight. I'm gonna give you some book references, but we have to come to the table with the desire. And I know I'm not gonna call out Alexis, but she and I have had a couple of conversations about this. So I know she definitely has the desire. And you have another thing working in your benefit. You have that burning itch from corporate America. And many of us who are on tonight have had that corporate burning itch. And my situation was one that when I began to get that itch and how do I get out of here? And I'm looking for ways to get out because I realized it's not what I want to do. I was very clear about what I was running from, but nobody gave me these questions I'm about to give you all. So I was not clear about what I was running to. A lot of people are clear about what they're running from, but they have not gone through the process to develop clarity about what they're running to. Now, those of you who may not know me very well, I am a child of the King. So I'm going to make this biblical for a few minutes. Now, if you are offended by me talking about God, please forgive me. But I'm going to talk about God. What I encourage you to do, the whole 9 weeks will not be about God, but I'm going to talk about God. So if you're offended by the God piece, take out all the information you want and then take the God piece and then give that to somebody else. All right? Now, what am I going to say about God? And Facebook, if you haven't registered for the Zoom, I encourage you, go ahead and register and jump on with us. We're going to be shutting it down in about 5 minutes. Let me confirm that we didn't have any questions. We're going to be shutting down Facebook shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to jump on Zoom with us. Discovering my gift is sending me through uncertain areas, uncomfortable periods. I'm questioning too much. Very good. Thank you, Holy Spirit. That's a perfect lead in. I asked God several years ago, and I encourage every believer to ask this question. Matthew 6:33 says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. First of all, most believers focus on the things when you really should be focused on the seeking part. And I asked God this question. God, what do you mean by seek you first, seek the kingdom first? What does that mean, God? And God, in his ultimate wisdom, he did not answer my question completely. He began to unfold the answer over time. Part of what he unfolded initially was that seeking the kingdom is discovering your purpose and living that out. So then he began to unfold for me that when I don't discover my purpose, and I'm going to show you in a second how purpose and gifting are tied together. When I don't discover my purpose, that's falling short of his glory. None of us want to go to glory, and we have fallen short of the original reason we've been put on this planet. Once I begin to search that out and get a better understanding of that, which goes to Fanchon's statement about questioning too much, I begin to understand I was number one in the process, and number two, I have to trust. So at the end of the day, trusting does not mean I don't ask questions. Doesn't mean that. Not at all. But once again, the quality of your life will be determined by the quality of the questions that you learn to ask and get answers to. Are the questions stemmed or steeped in fear, or are the questions steeped in faith? So, once again, let me make sure I answer Alexa's question. Yes and no, it can be easy. Yes and no, it can take time and experience. No, you don't have to skip around. But the beauty about having a multitude of experiences as you're on this walk to discover your gifting and your purpose is that it adds additional value to you. And I'll throw this in for free tonight. And we're getting ready to close down Facebook. So if you're going to jump on, I encourage you to click on that link, get registered. It'll send you an email and you'll be fed right into the Zoom training with us. The Well, first of all, before I do that, Alexis, did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
And I know a lot of times we get answers and it's not the answers that we want. So it's okay. You can always tell me, no, Taft, no, you didn't answer my question. It's completely okay if you all tell me that. We're going to make this a true dialogue. We got some more feedback. Let me check this. People confuse asking questions with doubting or not trusting. I want you to write that down, Parnell, at the beginning of week 2. I pray you're going to be in the mastermind because you have a great deal of value that could be offered to the mastermind. And if you don't want to do it in week 2, feel free to go ahead and take yourself off of mute. And I want you to speak to that. People confuse asking questions with doubting, with doubting or not trusting. Would you like to speak in a little more detail? Are you in a quiet area, Parnell, where you can do that?
Yes, I am, Taft. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
What I'll say to that is this, is that we question a lot of things about our life as to why is it this way or why is it that way. And to the person that you were referencing on Facebook who was saying people tell him that he asks too many questions. Well, as an engineer, I was trained to question. So, and learn how to ask better questions to create better results. Well, the same is true in life. You learn to ask better questions, you get better quality results in your life. But people tend to confuse that, especially in the biblical sense, to I'm asking questions, so I'm not trusting, or I'm not doubting, or I'm doubting the process that I'm going through. I'm doubting the path that I'm on. The two are distinctly different. The two are very different.
Now, this is going to be the beauty of a mastermind. This is not, once again, it's not going to be Taft lecturing. This is going to be the mastermind working on this information, chewing it up so that you can digest it and you can use it to be mental food. All right. So let me do this. I'm going to shut down Facebook. Give me 1 second. So Facebook, thank you for joining us. I went past my time. I said I was going to do 20 to 25 minutes. I think I've been on here 32 with you all. So thank you for staying with me. If you want to join us, once again, jump on with us via the Zoom app. The link is in the post. And you all take care and be blessed. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. Have a magnificent week.